I'm Mike Dice with FanSided, and joining us by phone today, we have UFC Hall of Famer Forrest Griffin. Now, you're starring in a new ad with Buffalo Wild Wings where you and middleweight champion Luke Rockhold surprise some would-be customers with a UFC watch party and then take them to UFC 197. What was your initial reaction when Buffalo Wild Wings approached you about this idea?
Well, you know, I got some, snippets of other stuff other athletes have done as far as just hanging out with fans, and I thought that we could probably do a little better than that.
Did you have any input in how the surprise or the ad would play out?
No, not really. I mean, it kind of, having watched it, it plays out pretty naturally, like what would happen if you said, hey, do you want to watch the fight here? Oh, no, by the way, actually, do you just want to go to the fight?
So they walk in the room, they see a UFC Hall of Famer waiting for them. What was their reaction like?
Well, they're a pretty cool group of guys. I enjoyed talking to them. They were excited, but they were still kind of cool in the beginning. Didn't want to, show their hand too much. But by the end of the night, it was pretty relaxed, and I could tell they were pretty excited.
You're used to fighting in the cage. What is it like playing host at an event?
Yeah, I've gotten to do that quite a bit. It turns out that I'm pretty good at being relatively nice and knowing a little bit about fights. And I have the pass that gets me through to all the cool places in the back, which makes me a good host as well.
If you don't mind, we wanted to ask you a few broader questions about the UFC in general. There's been a lot of discussion about weight class structures. What is your opinion on it?
Well, the weight class structure is right now what it has to be, given the talent to support it. And what you don't want is a weight class every 5 pounds where guys can hide from each other like they do in boxing. The other thing is if you start putting weight classes close together like that, guys and men and women that fight will think, well, it's just 10 more pounds. I can do that. And they'll always try to get in the lowest weight class that they can, compete in and feel good.
There's a lot of great cards coming up over the next few months. What's the one fight you're looking forward to the most?
I mean, right now, I think it's that May 29th, Cody, and I always say it's Gildebrand, I always say his name wrong, and Thomas Almeida. That's, two of the guys that are kind of making 135 exciting, both with young guys with a ton of upside. And, that's a tough matchup there. I think, I'm surprised they made it because, one rising star is going to fall off track.
Last question, and you knew this guy was going to come up. Did Conor McGregor overplay his hand in the standoff with Dana White over UFC 200?
Yeah, I mean, specifically, again, I don't know, but nobody likes doing media. Nobody likes doing stuff the week of the fight. It's part of the fight. And I always tell the guys when they come in, I was like, you can fight and not do media, but you're not really going to get paid much to do it. You have to sell the fight. And Conor McGregor makes a lot of money. I know he makes a cut off the back end. So, he sells the fight. He benefits from it. That's just the way the game is played. He knows that better than anyone.
Forrest, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join us. And remember to stay tuned to FanSided MMA for all the latest UFC news.